What's up, Facebook? What's up, world? Gonna wait till a couple of people get on. Happy Thursday. Maybe not the best time to make a video. Maybe it is. Hey, Tiff, what's up on the East Coast? How are you? Miss your gorgeous face. Can't wait till you get out here. What's up, Drew, my other East Coast love? What's up, Ashley, my third East Coast love? So much love from the East Coast. Hi, Elaine. How are you? Been seeing all your gorgeous pictures. I know, happy Thursday, right? So, wanted to jump on today and talk a little bit about my cleanse, but more importantly, talk about sacred space. What is sacred space? As a little piggyback to Do You Feel Peaceful from last week? Gosh, the days fly by so fast. And what's up, Nigel, Canada? And so I wanted to talk about building sacred space. And do you know what that is? And also creative visualization, a couple of exercises that have used for a couple of years now. I know East Coast is so representing, and so is Canada right now. Where's the West Coast? Where are those people? So wanted to chit chat a little bit about that, and also talk to you guys about why sacred space is important, because the world seems like it's in absolute chaos right now. I mean, there's so much happening with Florida, and just, it makes me so sad because, this feels like the time where a lot of people need us. So I think sacred space is important because the more balanced we are, the more we can help other people versus being stuck in our day-to-day distractions. So I started my cleanse this week from Purium. This is day 4, and I feel fucking amazing. I haven't been able to really work out. If you know me, you know back in April I had a really bad accident and I haven't been able to do anything besides walk. So this is purely just diet, and I can't even imagine what's going to happen when I actually get my ass to the gym. But if you're interested in changing your life, changing your health, changing the world, this company Purium is an amazing company. They are farm to table, and they're really changing the way that we receive food. A lot of food is wasted in transit. Obviously, there's global warming, we've got trucks, we've got fuel, there's just a lot going on, and I can totally tell you more if you're interested. I promise I won't talk too much about it. My brother actually said that I was spamming him, so I'm like, sorry, I'm just really excited about it. When you're excited, you want to tell other people about stuff, right? So I know you guys aren't mad at me. So I wanted to talk about sacred space and meditation. A lot of people message me sometimes and we're chit-chatting about meditation, and they say that they're frustrated and they don't understand meditation. They're like, I got a message from my friend the other day, and she said, I don't understand meditation. I don't think I'm doing it right. Like, it's really loud in my mind and I just don't know what I'm doing. So I wanted to give some tips about what I use and why it's so easy for me to drop in. Granted, I've been meditating for 6 years, and obviously it's like a muscle. The more that you do meditation, the easier it will become, the more comfortable you'll be walking through the silence. And so meditation, okay, let's jump onto that. So with everything that's happening in the world, it's really important to meditate. It's important to build sacred space. What I consider to be sacred space is a space inside of us where we're peaceful, we feel happy, we feel love, we feel in control. We are able to back up a million miles away from the way that we normally lead our lives. So in the past, the way that I led my life, and you may possibly lead your life, is we work a 9 to 5, we have all these distractions, we're talking about our relationships, we're pissed off because somebody cut us off in traffic, we want to be skinnier, we want to be better, we're really caught up and we're really on top of our life, and we're really close to it, and we can't see anything else because we're so close to it. It's like, being in a microscope, like we're super close to it, and all we do is fixate on these tiny, tiny things in our lives. We're obsessed. And I remember just thinking back, when I was hanging out in Jersey with my mom, and instead of being fully present in the conversation, I'd be thinking about, what can I do? What am I going to do? The past, the present, the future. I'd be all over the place, and I didn't ever notice that birds were flying above and they were beautiful. I didn't ever notice, dragonflies, or, what was going on around me. I was so stuck in my head that I felt like I missed my whole life. I mean, I was with my mom, and it was like, she lives on the East Coast and I'm obviously on the West Coast, and it's like I don't even get to see her anymore, and I missed out on all these moments because I was living in the future and the past, and I was so caught up on these daily distractions. It's like we get caught up in the 3D matrix, and all we do is go round and round under the wave of confusion. And when you start to meditate, you start to create this sacred space. And when you drop in and you start to witness and aware, you're more aware and you're peaceful. And then all of a sudden you start to think, wow, like this feels really good. And then it sort of translates a little bit to your waking life and when you're walking around. And then it doesn't translate because you get pissed off or you get caught up and you're not present. And being present is one of the hardest things. But I think that when we live from a peaceful place, we cultivate power, which cultivates presence. And so, what's up, Larry? I got a West Coast person here. Yes, and Jonathan. Yes, I feel so loved. So what I was saying is that you sort of get caught up in the day-to-day distractions. So you start to meditate and you have a little bit of peace and you bring that out into the world and you're like, yes, I'm starting to feel better. But then something happens and you get pissed off and then you get caught up in it again. But then slowly, the more that you work your meditation muscle, it starts to become like the sacred space of meditation is like a walking meditation, right? Your life becomes a walking meditation. And you start to slowly bring that sacred space from meditation out into the world, and it starts to become more and more and more of you, so that when you're out in the world, it's like you are in a meditation, you are present, you are witnessing, and there are things that we can do to build that space. I think that for a lot of people, sitting in silence is hard. It's not something that we're taught. So you can use, like I mentioned before, binaural beats. They're amazing. They synchronize the left and right hemisphere of your brain, and they create activity so that you can drop in a lot faster. So you can set it to alpha, you can set it to theta. Those are both really good. And when you set them, you can drop in. I mean, I can drop in like 20 seconds now. When you drop in, you sit. And if sitting feels hard for you, you can get an app called Headspace, which does guided meditation. There are so many other ones. But I am a firm believer of that silence, because within that silence, you get a lot of answers and you learn how to walk through the noise of your mind. You learn how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You learn to be a fucking spiritual badass, because once you master your mind and you're peaceful, we can use a lot more of our energy and our focus to help other people. I mean, the world is absolutely crazy right now. People need help. We need to be, sharing money if we can give money, or we can donate, or we can share our time, or we can share an ear to chit chat with someone, or share a smile, have a moment. We need to really get to a point where we feel peaceful enough that our cup is full so that we can help people. There's so many things happening in the world. So building sacred space is really important. So sacred space, like I mentioned, in meditation is when we drop in. And that sacred space means that we're peaceful and that we feel powerful. And it means that we're able to witness and detach from what's happening. It means that we start to trust ourselves. We start to trust the process of what Spirit's highest vision is for our life. We start to make decisions that empower us and not disempower us. We start to love you too, Denise. I got more East Coast love. Yes. And Ryan, what's up? So what I was saying is that we start to make decisions that empower us and not disempower us. We start to speak our voice. We start to walk away from conversations and situations that don't align with us, mind, body, and soul. We start to, build our power and build our peace. And that sacred space and that silence starts to be something that we take with us everywhere we go. What's up, Julie? More East Coast love. So everywhere we travel, we have that sacred space, and sometimes we come out of it. I mean, there are going to be times where we may lose a loved one or something tragic may happen and we don't have sacred space. We're just fucked. We're, upset. We're really struggling. And that's part of the human experience that we're here to experience. But for the other little things about people cutting us off in traffic, or not getting external validation, or being worried about our job, we tend to be, like I said, so close to something that we cannot see. We need to back up way, 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 way out so we can have a different vantage point, so that we can behave from a different point, so we can create new neural pathways in our brain that are positive. So we can start traveling along those positive neural pathways and stop using the ones that stifle us and suffocate us, stop making those decisions. So in creating sacred space, we need to meditate. And we need to drop in, and we need to drop in often, and we need to do all those other things that I'm talking about to build that sacred space. And we need to keep remembering to be detached, to practice detachment, and to be compassionate with ourselves and to be compassionate with other people. I have friends that I talk to and they're so upset about things and so fixated on these things that they don't sometimes understand that we're in control. You know, we can back up and have a different perspective, more asking, what is Spirit showing me? What is this experience showing me? And when I'm uncomfortable, get fucking excited, because it's exciting. This is like an adventure. We're in Wonderland, right? We can have fun. We can look over and see the Mad Hatter, and we can just drink tea. I love tea. I definitely was British in a different lifetime because I'm obsessed with tea. If you saw my cabinet, I've got tea and tequila over there, but that's a sidebar. So anyway, you know, get excited because we're here to learn and we're here to make friends. There's so many other beautiful people we can talk to and reach out and tell our truth to and connect. And that makes all the difference when we're building sacred space. Talk to people about what's going on. You're not alone. And I have some tips for building, you know, that sacred space because I am a creative person. So I hear a lot and I love music, and the way that I learn has always been visually. So for me, doing something visually when I'm dropped in on a creative space is amazing. So when I use my meditation, I have a couple different techniques that I really wanted to share today that I think will be helpful, because when people tell me they don't understand meditation or they're frustrated, I'm totally there with you. When I first started meditating, I was like, oh my God, am I doing this right? How can I last 5 minutes in silence? Now I'm probably at an hour to an hour and a half broken up in AM and PM, depending on how much restoration I need, depending on how much, you know, writing I've been doing or talking to people, or how drained I feel and how much I need to get back in balance. But I didn't think I could last 5 minutes. I remember getting fired from my job in Brooklyn and being like, oh shit. We had just bought a house and I was like, oh shit. And oh shit kept coming up, and I was like, oh shit. And then I thought, oh shit, I need to get away from this oh shit. So I started this, like, I got an email about a meditation from Deepak and Oprah, and I thought, oh, this sounds exciting. It's only like 5-10 minutes a day. I can last. And I remember doing it and being like, I don't even know if I'm doing this right. What is this? Like, oh shit again. And you know, I slowly got it up to 10 minutes and 15 minutes. And when I got to half an hour, I was super proud. I was like, wow, I'm such a spiritual badass. Like, I never thought I could do more than 5 minutes. And I remember I started to see images and I started to hear guidance, and I was like, okay, I think I'm on the right path. But I promise you, stick with it. Like, you're not going to feel amazing maybe the first time. Your mind is not going to be quiet. In fact, it's going to get pissed off and it's going to be like, what are you doing? And your mind is going to get loud and it's going to get crazy, and it's going to try to make you stop doing it, and that means you need to do it. That means you're on the right track. So meditate, use binaural beats. They are literally amazing. You can drop in so much faster. It's like when you drop it in a float tank. You're in, you're gone, that's it. You're in the delicious silence of your soul. And it's you time. It's time for you to be connected to spirit and yourself and your light. And when you have that, that sustains us. That makes us pumped up in the morning. You get up, you dance to music, and you're like, yeah, what am I going to do today? I'm so excited about being alive, versus, oh my God, what am I doing? I hate my life. I have no power. I have no control. So let's back up and bring the love in, and we are in control. Let's do some awesome stuff. So one of the things I use for when I feel really stressed out or something happens to me and I feel like I can't shake it and it's in my head, obviously I've got to stop what I'm doing. You know, maybe I'm about to eat something delicious. I'm like, all right, fuck, we have to stop. I can't even concentrate. We need to address this. We need to let this in. So I go and I sit, I put my binaural beats on, I sit down, and I like to think of liquid love and light coming from above. And I like to let it drip down onto me, into my heart space, down into the earth, where it bounces back up from below me and all over me, until it's sort of like swirling around me. And, you know, I start to feel the love and I start to feel connected. And then I feel my heart space, you know, lit up with love. And I let that love go out into the world until it goes from all the states to each continent, till the whole United States is connected. And I feel connected to every living creature and every living being. And from there, I start to think about gratitude. And I start to think about how this world is a 3D matrix, and how I see everything like a dollhouse, like a paper dollhouse. And I let everything fold down. And then all I see is me and every other beautiful soul, and how I'm connected to everyone. And I let that love of this experience of the universe fill me. And after I'm done with that, I try to think about why this thing is bothering me, or what I can learn from this, or what I'm experiencing. And when I sit with it for a moment, I acknowledge it, and I say that I understand that I'm upset about that, but I fully love myself, and I trust myself, and I trust the process. Please help me, Spirit. And I imagine that whatever's bothering me is a mist, and the mist goes off of me like a fog, and I push it away with my mind, and I look at it, and when I look at it, I thank it for what it's taught me, and then I push it down the street with my mind. And sometimes if it's something that's really stressful, it'll keep coming back, and I'll keep pushing it, and then I'll thank it again, and I watch it go down the street, I'll push it with my mind, and I'll watch it evaporate. And then I'll do the filling myself with light again, and I'll start to think about gratitude. And when I think about gratitude, I think about, how I'm a beautiful soul, and how I know so many other beautiful souls, and how we're all connected, and how we're all going through so much stuff, and it's so beautiful, and we're learning so many lessons, and there's so many amazing things that we can do if we only can realize our peace and our power. And I let that fill me, and I let that elicit the feelings and inspiration within me. And once I feel full, I let it go. One of the other things that I like to do as a visual person is when I take my dog out for a walk, I like to either go out silently, or I'm guilty of putting music on, maybe a song I really feel passionate about. And as I get outside, I start breathing deep. And I breathe in, and when I exhale, I let myself ground back into the earth. And as I do that, and as I'm walking, I'm conscious of my breath. I'm conscious of my body. I'm in my body. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm healthy. And as I'm walking along, I start looking at the trees. And every time the trees move and the wind blows, I feel it elicit a response inside of me that I'm connected to that tree. And as I walk, I like to look in the distant, and I like to imagine everything that I'm asking for and everything that I want to bring into my holographic reality. And I start thinking about those things, and I get excited because I have the power to create, and you have the power to create. And I start thinking about these things, bringing new friendships in and creating that space and holding that space. And I think about, new job opportunities and new experiences, and I see them in front of me, and I imagine that every step I'm taking, I'm getting closer to them. So I like to do the walking meditation because I feel like it's a powerful thing, because as we're walking and we're breathing, we're being present, and as we're feeling good and we're raising our vibrational frequency, we're aligned with the vortex. And as we're aligned with the vortex, we know that we're manifesting. And the better that we feel and the more present and clear channel that we are, the faster we're manifesting, because we don't have obstacles. So clearing that out, with the fog and grounding back into the earth, walking meditation. I also like to, in my regular morning meditation at night, depending on how you feel, you can do a little bit of praying and asking. You can do a lot of different things, but I think creative visualization is something that's really powerful, because I'm a creative person, and I feel like when you're dropped in and you're aligned with the vortex, you can manifest faster than you can if you're just thinking stuff. But if you're creative and you're visualizing it, then it's really powerful, and I think that letting everything drop down like it's a paper dollhouse and seeing what's important, because one of the things about being awake and aware is being able to see through the bullshit. And there's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit. There are conversations that aren't worth having. There are, things that are not aligned with us and will probably never be aligned with us, that are lessons that we need to create and let go and make that space for. There are so many things that we need to see through. We need to see through the day-to-day distractions. We need to stop looking at things so close and back up and see, from a wider lens, from a different vantage point, from someone else's point of view. I think that, I know, Lori, there's a lot of bullshit. I know you've been through a lot of it, girl. You're a spiritual badass for sure. And I think that we need to back up, and sacred space is built through meditation. So the more that we can witness and trust the process and trust ourselves and not get pulled into things, because getting pulled into things takes a lot of energy, and we only have so much energy throughout the day. I mean, really, I only have the bandwidth for a certain amount of messages, certain amount of writing. I mean, obviously we're human, so we still have to sleep until somebody comes up with a remedy for that. But we have to really be smart, because where we apply our energy is the most important thing that we can do, and where we apply our awareness is what we're creating. So if you don't want something anymore, simply withdraw your energy. Just withdraw it. You are in control, and you can, get a new job, you can create a business, you can go anywhere and you can do anything. I mean, how fucking exciting is that? Like, it's so exciting. So that's what I wanted to share about creative visualization and sacred space, because I think that sacred space is something that we build over time. And sacred space is important because the world is really chaotic right now, and I know that the more peaceful we are, the more we can help other people, and people need help. We need to ask every day, what can we be doing for other people, and how can we be helping? What can we be building? Let's start a fucking revolution, let's just do something. Let's do something amazing, because people need help, and we can only do that if our cup is full and we are balanced. So that was just a short little chit chat on creative visualization and sacred space that came to me last night when I was laying looking at the ceiling, which all the answers are up there. So if you have questions, give me a call or PM me because I probably can find the answer for you, or they could possibly be on your own ceiling. So that's it. I'll be back soon to chit chat about some other things. And I love you all. If there's a topic that you guys want me to touch on, definitely PM me. And have an awesome Thursday. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow. Who knows? Life is mysterious and magical. I love you guys. Bye.